Entre pa' que te enteres, este es el detalle. Si caliente está la cera, más caliente está la calle.
Mira, llegó el son cubano.
Hola mi gente, and welcome back to the We Are Investing channel, a channel that is dedicated in investing and personal finance. This has been a great day in the stock market. It's been a great week. It's been a great month. We are absolutely picking stellar stocks that are giving us great returns. The latest of the bunch, which we're going to be talking about on today's video, is ticker symbol SNDL. Now, I don't post a video on every stock that I invest in. I do, however, post on the Patreon whenever I open or close a new position. You get to follow the portfolio in real time because whenever I make any moves, I post on the Patreon. And I posted on January 6th that I was opening up a position in ticker symbol SNDL at 66 cents a share. Now, something else that you get when you do join the Patreon is you also get access to a Discord server of over 300 members, and you also get early access to videos. I upload to the Patreon before I make the videos public on YouTube. Now, that position that we opened up in SNDL in early January is up massive, like I said. We're up 159.89%. The total gains right now are over $7,000 for just this stock. I also have call options, which I trimmed on my call options just the other day because the stock has been running up, so I did lock in some profits. I have 13 call options with the $2 strike price that expire on July 16th, 2021. I'm probably going to continue to trim on these call options and probably continue to trim on my shares as well because this was to be a trade and the stock is running high right now. So I definitely want to take advantage of this price action and lock in some of those gains and play with house money because ultimately I have other exposure in the marijuana sector, in the cannabis industry, and I don't really like SNDL as a company. However, I do like it as a stock because it gets pumped up a lot by pumpers. It is on a lot of social media platforms like StockTwits, Twitter, and also Wall Street Bets is now talking about SNDL as well. So you got a lot of people talking about the stock. They don't know jack shit about the company. They just know it's a marijuana sector stock and all marijuana stocks are going to go up. But in my personal opinion, there are better places to put your money in this sector if you want to play this long term and if you want to hold it past the initial pump. But ultimately, a rising tide does lift all ships, and as the marijuana sector comes to the forefront, all of these stocks are going to see good price actions. But some are going to be better than others, and even after the tide has settled, some of these marijuana sector stocks are going to continue to perform extremely well. Now, I plan to upload a video on a penny stock, a marijuana penny stock, that I think could be one of those companies. I posted on the Patreon. Patreon members are aware of this opportunity. The stock has already started to move. We are up over 20% on that stock, and I just posted about that stock the other day. And that stock is a stock that I definitely think has great management, has a product in America that is selling, has great metrics, and I think could be a long-term winner in this booming industry that I think has a lot of tailwinds and could really thrive in the future. Now, if we take a look at ticker symbol SNDL, we can see that the current share price is $1.65, and over the last month, the stock has gone up 141.94%. And if we take a look at the daily, the 1 day, 1 minute chart, we can see that in after hours trading, we're trading much higher. We had a high of $1.88 at the time of filming, and it dropped down to $1.82. Now, the price target from a lot of these pumpers, the price target on social media seems to be $2 a share for SNDL. I personally think it could easily break that number, but I do think that people are going to start taking profits at $2 a share. Now, to be completely honest with you guys, if you're in this stock and you're up big at this price, it's good to trim your position a little bit, lock in those profits, make sure that you do not lose money on this trade, play it safe, but also keep some skin in the game. If you don't have skin anywhere else in the marijuana sector, I highly suggest you find somewhere to put your money. But also, it's okay to keep some money in SNDL too until we get that federal legalization, which I think is going to happen. Now, here's the way I look at things, right? For the entire sector, the entire marijuana sector, you're starting to see a lot of movement in the last couple days. We are going to have some up and downs, but from the macro standpoint, I really think it's going to get passed legally, federally, and a lot of states are going to adopt it. The reason why I believe that is because of how much spending there has been in the federal government. With all these stimulus packages and propose or they want to include an infrastructure package on top of all the money that they have already spent. And one way to combat the spending is to get revenue from taxes. And when you tax people, they go up in arms. But if you tax a product that wasn't legal before, they're going to be cool with it. It's not going to impact them any bit. So it's an easy way to tax, to try to get money into the government. Another thing that I see here is state governments are suffering because of the pandemic and the lockdowns. They also need tax. So if it's a state that hasn't already legalized marijuana, they're probably going to legalize it, or they're going to think very strongly of doing so. And also, if it's a state that already has legal marijuana, I do think that they would consider increasing the tax on those products to try to help with the revenue side of things. Because like I said, this pandemic is really hurting state governments and it's hurting their revenue streams, and they need to find a way to pick up revenue to try to make up for all the money that they lost because of this pandemic. So the sector is a sector that I think people should be looking at for investments because you could still find value, and I do think that there is still a lot of room to run. But like I said earlier, it's always okay to start taking profits. If you 2x on a stock, 3x on a stock, trim your position, play with house money and let that ride and let that house money get you rich, because then you're investing with zero risk, and that's the best way to invest in my personal opinion. So with all that being said, guys, that wraps it up. Those are my thoughts when it comes to the cannabis industry and SNDL. We've made money on this stock and we are going to continue to do so. I think we're probably going to break past $2 this week and we can continue on upward. And if we get news federally that legalizes marijuana, I think that this is going to go to $4 a share. Oh, and one last thing. When you look at stocks in this sector, try to look for American companies, because right now you can only sell cannabis in America if you're an American company. And I don't know what's going to happen if they federally legalize marijuana, if they're going to accept outside companies to be able to import their products into US soil and sell them. That I do not know, but if it is federally legal, I know American companies will be just fine. So definitely look for American companies in this sector, and stay tuned for the next stock pick in this sector that I think can absolutely boom. Now, if you like this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button, ringing that bell, and smashing that like button. Do not forget about the Patreon page where I post whenever I open or close a position. You get early access to videos, and you also get access to a Discord server of over 300 members. Now, down below, there's also links to my Twitter. I'm starting to become active on there as well. A Facebook group, and promotional links to Webull that can get you 2 free stocks worth up to $1,600. But you know the deal. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And this is We Are Investing. And together, we are invincible. See ya!